Straight ahead on 12 News, it's a big financial boost for high-tech startups, but see why some tax incentives may go away to help fledgling companies. Plus, a place where pumpkins can rest in peace. But first,
it's never happened before. I've lived here for about 8 years.
Neighborhoods on edge after a string of daytime burglaries. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Brooklyn Park Police are warning residents about a string of daytime burglaries.
Since October 12th, there have been at least 14 burglaries in neighborhoods across the city. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
Residents in the Park Center neighborhood say it's a relatively quiet area.
Once in a while, there's a boom box. You know, they got them pumpers.
But in the past few weeks, crooks have rattled the nerves of some homeowners.
The burglaries are occurring Monday through Friday, mostly in the morning hours.
Police say the thieves ring the doorbell or knock on the door to see if anyone is home.
My son called me, told me some boy just tried to break in the house.
Golden Segaida says he had just left for work when someone broke into his home last Friday.
They heard him come through the window, and they yelled, "Who's dead?"
Police say the crooks break into a window or go through a back patio door.
I think he actually came through there and up on the window because the window I never locked the windows.
The burglar didn't get away with any items, but he did take away Golden's peace of mind.
Yeah, I feel violated, yeah. I do, you know.
Police don't have any suspects, but over the weekend, they handed out these flyers encouraging residents to keep their doors and windows locked. And of course, if they see anything suspicious, to give them a call. In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The Brooklyn Park Police Department has a free burglary prevention workshop coming up on November 12th. For more information on that, you can go to our website, 12.tv.
Today at North Hennepin Community College, students learned more about the problem of sex trafficking. An official with the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center discussed how big of a problem it is in the Native American community. Patina Park says 75% of all juvenile trafficking in Minneapolis involves Native American girls. This despite the fact that they account for just 2% of the population.
People come in and kind of wine and dine the young girls to get them to fall in love with them, and then they become their boyfriend, and then suddenly they're selling them to friends and then selling them to associates.
The park says many Native American girls become victims in their early teens, and they are affected into their 20s, 30s, and 40s.
The medical technology industry employs more than 28,000 people in Minnesota. And next year, a tax credit that benefits investors who put money into that industry and other high technology startups is set to expire. As Delane Cleveland reports, lawmakers and entrepreneurs visited Plymouth today to push for the renewal of the angel investment tax credit.
We make everything out of aluminum.
Monday morning, Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith joined a contingent of people to tour ProMed, a Plymouth-based medical device company.
It's been here since 1989, making components for some of the most important medical devices that the whole world is able to enjoy.
State officials say Minnesota's technology industry is among the fastest growing in the nation, and the state is giving the industry a boost thanks to the Angel Investment tax credit,
which creates an incentive for investments in startup Minnesota companies. It's very unusual in the country.
You know, Minnesota is the state of invention.
This so-called unusual program provides a 25% tax credit to investors of startup tech companies.
There's lots of challenges.
It's also set to expire in 2016, which is why the Lieutenant Governor wanted to meet with entrepreneurs who have benefited from the program.
We can take skin cells and convert that into stem cells. So we leverage that technology.
Ping Ye is founder and CEO of Stemonics.
We use that technology to make plates for custom drug discovery and eventually personalized medicine for the discovery of new cures, whether it's genetic heart diseases, different cancers, autism, for example.
In order for startups like his to succeed and thrive, supporters of the tax credit say it needs to be extended.
I am a very strong supporter of it, so I'm going to push for it.
The importance of helping.
Critics, meanwhile, say that it's essentially a tax cut for the wealthy. The Lieutenant Governor argues that it's an investment that's good for the state.
We think that with this $15 million of tax credits that we're going to be deploying this year. We're going to see $60 million in additional investment that are going to help these small companies grow.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
State lawmakers say there is bipartisan support for extending the angel investment tax credit. For more information on the tax credit, you can go to our website. Again, that's 12.tv.
Maple Grove residents will soon get to meet the city's new administrator. The city council is expected to approve the hire of Heidi Nelson, who has been the city manager in Wayzata. Nelson will become the 5th city administrator in Maple Grove's history. She will replace Al Madsen, who is retiring after 32 years with the city.
As voters go to the polls on Tuesday, one race is basically decided. Only one candidate filed to run in a special election to replace State Representative Ryan Winkler of Golden Valley. Peggy Flanagan says she was surprised to learn no one else ran, and she's using the opportunity to lay the groundwork for the next election.
We've continued to run as though we do have an opponent. So I've been knocking on doors, having conversations with voters, raising money, because I'm going to have to run again in 2016. And I'll be seated fairly quickly, and we'll need to know what folks in the district think.
Winkler resigned in July because his wife had accepted a job in Europe. He was known for his fiery debate skills on the House floor. Flanagan says her approach will be different, but they share many of the same beliefs. Flanagan worked with Winkler as co-chair of the Raise the Wage campaign, which increased the minimum wage in Minnesota. And a reminder, we have local election coverage coming up on Tuesday night. At stake are seats for city council and mayor in Golden Valley, as well as several area school board seats. We will have results after the polls close at 8 o'clock. We'll hear from some of the candidates during live cut-ins at 9:23 and also 9:53.
Now that Halloween is history, some people will automatically toss those pumpkins into the garbage. However, that is being discouraged in cities like Plymouth and Brooklyn Park. In Brooklyn Park, the city wants you to toss the orange orbs into a compost bin. Brooklyn Park has set up a free drop-off container at Central Park. The pumpkins will be turned into compost, providing nutrients for better soil.
It's shown to have plants grow faster and hardier. So not only are you again, keeping stuff out of the waste stream, you're creating a valuable amendment that's helping the environment.
Residents of Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, Crystal, and New Hope can take their pumpkins to Central Park and Brooklyn Park until November 8th. Brooklyn Park officials remind residents to remove all the candles, the candle wax, and decorations from the pumpkins first. And if you have an overabundance of Halloween candy left over, here's the perfect place to bring those leftovers. Members of the Plymouth Fire Department are collecting Halloween candy to ship overseas to U.S. soldiers. Candy will be part of care packages delivered to military members. You can drop off candy Tuesday from 8 to 4:30 p.m. at Plymouth City Hall. Well, coming up, what the medical device industry means to Plymouth.
And you may be surprised to learn how many Medtech companies have located in the city. And then a little bit later in sports, Totino-Grace ends Eden Prairie's reign in a big football matchup.
But first, more gorgeous fall weather. Tuesday, we may reach 70 degrees. The importance of the state's medical device industry is front and center this week.
The city of Plymouth and Governor Dayton have both proclaimed it Medtech Week. That's as thousands gather in the state for a Medtech conference. In this week's Business Matters, Plymouth knows the impact of Medtech companies as another global company moves into the city. As Smith's Medical moves into its world headquarters in Plymouth, the company's move from Arden Hills is significant because it brings 500 employees to Plymouth. When the move is complete early next year, Smith Medical joins a growing number of medtech companies that call Plymouth home.
We're proud to say we have over 130 medtech and medtech supporting companies here in Plymouth.
Plymouth has become a hub for medical technology companies, from St. Jude Medical's research and development facility to Covidian and smaller companies such as Intellis and Urologics. Overall, 4,600 medtech jobs are located in Plymouth. The impact of medtech jobs on Plymouth's economy is significant, especially when you consider that the average medtech job pays around $110,000.
When you look at our school district, you look at our award-winning park system, you look at our transit, all of that reflects the needs of our community as well as our housing. We have a lot of executives that live here in town.
I think the communities have been very conducive to early stage companies, and then there's, of course, still land to grow for companies that want to expand or set up headquarters like Smith's Medical.
Trade Association Life Science Alley will welcome Plymouth Medtech companies and others from around the globe to Minneapolis this week for a conference highlighting the industry's future.
What's great about this industry is it is clean, high-paying jobs that produce products that save people's lives.
Plymouth city officials plan to be at the Medtech conference, encouraging an industry they would like to see more of in their city limits.
We want our current businesses to grow and prosper. We want to be supportive of those. We want to help new businesses locate here that are startups, and we also want to help other businesses that don't have room to grow where they currently are to come on over to Plymouth.
Plymouth has the second lowest tax rate of Minnesota cities with 10,000 or more people. Still ahead, a playground that could become a West Metro destination.
But first in sports, Maple Grove rolls to a big playoff win to move into the state semifinals in prep football. John Jacobson has all the highlights from that game and more when we come back. Well, John Jacobson here with sports now, and Maple Grove Crimson continue to roll. In fact, man, they got on the scoreboard quick on Friday.
They got them on the scoreboard in a hurry and really played well. And now we got 3 local teams in the Final Four in Class 6A football. It actually is. Maple Grove qualified for the state semifinals in football for the first time ever last fall. It definitely wasn't a one-time thing for the Crimson. They're back in the Final Four in Class 6A after another strong showing on Friday. Maple Grove's first ever meeting against Burnsville came in the 6A quarterfinals. After a quick Burnsville 3-and-out, and Isaac Collins gets the Crimson on the board. This is the first offensive play of the game, 38 yards and a touchdown. Crimson are up 7-0, 48 seconds in. Then Brad Davison will sneak one in from a yard out, 14-0 Maple Grove, less than 4 minutes in. The Crimson defense shut down at Burnsville most of the night. Zion Allen dropping Corey Kallstrom for a loss. And at the 4th down play at the Maple Grove 15-yard line, 17-0 Maple Grove at the half. Third quarter, it's Davison going 27 yards on this touchdown run. The Crimson add a 2-point conversion, and they go up 25-0 on the Blaze. Collins rushed for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns, 31-yarder here in the 4th quarter, capping off the scoring. Maple Grove downs Burnsville 32-14 on a night that the Crimson offense was in sync.
I mean, it's just a good week of practice. I mean, we were executing all cylinders, and when you got Brad rushing for, I don't know how many he rushed for, but he ran really well. So when you got people like that, Will Ampey, our receivers, all offense is just working today.
Maple Grove plays Eastridge in the state semifinals. The Raptors are 10-1 this season. That game is Friday night at 7 o'clock at Eden Prairie High School. You can watch the Maple Grove Eastridge games Saturday at 1 p.m. and 10 p.m. The winner then goes to the Prep Bowl November 13th at TCF Bank Stadium. Totino-Grace came very close to knocking off Eden Prairie in the state Class 6A final last season. This time, the Eagles versus Eagles matchup came in the quarterfinal round. After a bad punt snap by Grace, Eden Prairie's J.D. Spielman takes it in for a short touchdown, and Eden Prairie leads 7-0 at halftime. 4th quarter, Grace down 13-6. Kyle Halverson, great pass. Alex Spevacek and a touchdown grab. And Totino-Grace ties it at 13. Gayfor Flomo takes it in for a touchdown here. Totino-Grace is up for good at 20-13. And they add another score. And then this play seals the win. Charlie Waters picking off the deflected pass. Totino-Grace ends Eden Prairie's long run.
All week, coach just told us, anything can happen, anything's possible, any team is beatable, and that every streak has to come to an end, and we thought we could be the ones that could do it. So we went out there and did it.
Totino-Grace now plays Osseo in the state semifinals. That game is Thursday night at 7 at Minnetonka High School. You can watch it Friday or Saturday night at 7 p.m. We'll have more on both of those semifinal games later this week on 12 News. The news was not as good for Benilde St. Margaret's. The Red Knights ran into defending champion Becker and lost 48-7 in the Class 4A state quarterfinals. Benilde was held to 13 yards rushing, and star running back Ricky Floyd had 9 carries for -9 yards. Becker led 21-0 after the first quarter and never looked back. State champions will be crowned this week in cross country with a couple of local teams and several individuals entered into strong Class AA fields. Hopkins is the #1 ranked boys team in the state. The Royals won last week's competitive Section 6 AA meet and will be favored to win their first state title in the sport in 13 years. Among the individuals racing in the AA boys meet, Maple Grove's Alex Miley, who won the Section 5 AA race last week. Wayzata's girls are also state qualifiers this year. The Trojans advanced to state out of 6 AA as the section runner-up. Also on the girls' side, Park Center's freshman Elizabeth Matson, a state qualifier out of Section 5 AA. Here's the schedule for Saturday at St. Olaf College in Northfield. The Class AA races are in the morning with the girls running at 10 and the boys at 11. The Class A girls races at 1 p.m., followed 1 hour later by the Class A boys. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, one pretty cool playground.
See what will have kids trying to reach new heights in Maple Grove when we come back. Well, finally, a destination for backyard fun is now complete with swings, slides, and a whole lot more.
That's right. Listen to this. The installation of playground equipment was recently completed at Central Park in Maple Grove. There are 7 play zones with a rubberized surface. The features include a 24-foot high climbing tower and a 120-foot wide climbing wall. The playground is part of a 45-acre park that includes plenty of green space. This winter, the park will have an ice skating loop maintained by a Zamboni. So plenty to do. That's right.
You know that the warm weather stuff is going to get a lot of use, even though it's November.
That's right. This week,
close to 70 degrees tomorrow.
Enjoy it. That's right.
Absolutely. And also tomorrow on Tuesday, don't forget to vote, and we'll be here after 9 o'clock, and you can see the voting results scroll across the bottom of your screen after 8 o'clock when the polls close tomorrow night.
And big races in Golden Valley coming up.
Big races, city races in Golden Valley, and school board races just about everywhere else.
That's right. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow at 4.